Bama almost, Bama struggled. Bama struggled a fair amount yesterday with USC. Nope, not USC. USF. It's crazy what one change of a letter in the alphabet does for expectation. But Alex Golish and the boys brought the Bulls up there. He said it a few weeks ago. He said, yeah, we got to play Alabama. Alabama's got to play USF too. This was one of the ugliest games in the modern era last year. And last night, it was, I guess, more entertaining, still close. Don't look at that final score, kids. That final score is lying to you. This was a very close game. It was a really good summary of what Bama is right now. So Alabama had big movement on their offensive line because they had an injury. And so they kicked their left guard out to tackle. They had a two playing right tackle that's not ready for the moment yet. And it illustrated how thin they are past their starting five on the offensive line. Offense bogged down. And so they were turnover riddled, they were penalty riddled, but then they just flipped a switch late in the game. And you ask, well, what is that? Well, that's Alabama. That's exactly who they are. They are a team that, if they are healthy, can play with anyone. They're a team that can win the national championship if they play with anyone. They are much more vulnerable to injury this year because their depth is not on par with a Texas or a Georgia than they have been in years past, which means if they can thread that injury needle, they'll be fine. But the second you got one guy go down, it can disproportionately bog them down, which is just the reality of what Alabama is this year. But then, late in the game, you find out Pritchett could have played. He's the right tackle. Pritchett could play. And so Caden Proctor, so they're missing both their tackles. Proctor will be back in a few weeks. Pritchett gets put in the game. And, the guy who had been a vulnerability for him at right tackle gets pulled out and just immediately just go right down the field multiple times. It was 21-16 with 6 minutes to go in this game. The final on your screen, there's not a typo. They rolled out 21 unanswered in the final 5 minutes. All explosive scores. Ryan Williams, insane. He's not even a legal adult, and he's insane. But they are elite at the top end, but they have less depth and less room for error. And it's a shame that the final score is what it is, because it doesn't tell the truth about what Alex Golish in South Florida did yesterday. I really hope folks understand what the truth is there. I'll tell you what the truth is. The truth is, one day down the road, Alex Golish is going to take a team on par talent-wise into one of these venues because he's going to have a major job. And the result could be much different when he gets to roll in there with the kind of resources that an Alabama has or a Texas has or a Tennessee has. And it's coming. That's a guy who is, I would call him on a fast track to getting one of these major jobs. He's not alone. Summerall at Tulane's one of them. Almost maybe should have beaten Kansas State yesterday. But Alex Golish is the real deal down there. They've put together a good program in a couple of years. Reality of life is just different at the G5 level now. And I hat tip those guys. I mean, this was a competitive game midway through the fourth quarter.